For this form, what I have done, I have created these are the labels. I think you can use all these such kind of labels, and after that I have added these are the fields. Okay, so these are the text fields that are there. Now what I want to create a database. Now I want to create a database. So for database, you need two components. So I am showing my slides also. So now what we are doing, now you know that how to create an application, how to call a different application window or different class application also. So now what we are going to do, we are going to discuss about your Java database connectivity. I'm not going into depth of your Java database connectivity. So what is the main prerequisite? So I have already mentioned in on my class also. So if you are going to cover your Java, if you want to perform Java database connectivity, so you should have a good have an idea about your core Java, and in your database management system, you should have an idea about these query languages. So how many query languages are like structure query language, programmable language, your NoSQL, and these are the basically SQL languages that are already being there. Okay, but I have already told you that you are going to cover all these languages in your subject, that is your database management subject, that is in your, I think, your second year or in your third year. But what we are going to do, we are going to perform some basic queries related to your structure query language. So as you can see over there, through structure query language, what you can do, you can perform simple queries. What are the queries? You can create your table. So right now, because you are not having a very good idea about what is your database, so just consider it, database is a collection of what your tables. Okay, similar kind of tables. So whenever you want to create any database, so what you are doing, you are basically creating a table. So inside that table, what are the things? As you already know, that table is a collection of your rows and columns. So these are the columns and these are my rows. So if you want to create your own database, so for the first thing, what you have to do, you have to create your own database. Okay, so this is the way you are going to create your database. Okay, you have to write a query like create database and whatever the database you want to write. So suppose if I want to create a database of bu underscore csc, so in that case, what I have to write, create database, and the query which this is the query I have to write. Okay, similarly, if I want to create a database of employees, so I have to create like this. If I want to delete, so these are the operations. So if you want to see, so you can follow my this slides. Even I have uploaded on this LMS, as well as you can see it on my this lectures also. Okay, on my lectures, you can see this our team group, Microsoft team group. So if you want to create your table also, so in that case, these are basically your keywords, your create and table. Okay, so you have to write it. So whatever the keyword create table you want to create, so I want to create table. And what is your table name? So my table name is, let's assume, my bu underscore java underscore marks. So I want to create a table for my java marks. So I have created this thing, and as you can see over there, how many columns are there? I want to enter only 3 columns. So I have to mention the name of my column name. So first, my column name is what? My name. And what is the data type? So let's assume my data type is int. So you can just write int over there. Even if you want to write string, you can also write varchar. You can also write. So there are different data types are also there. Okay, don't get confused that what is varchar. Okay, so varchar is also there. Varchar is a combination of your collection of your. You can say that it is a string. Okay, varchar is what? Your string. Now. Now what we are going to do after that thing, so once you are going to perform, so this is the thing what you have done. Now you have created one Java application. Okay, right now what you have done, you have created one Java application. So this is the Java application which we have created, and now through this Java application, how can I connect with my database? So there are the various vendors that are already available in your market. Okay, so as I've already told you, so if I'm going to click it on this link, okay, I'm click.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, database will also be coming in on 12th of May.
No, it is not coming. Your database connectivity is not coming. So but at least you should have an idea. So if you are basically creating any application, okay, so you should have an idea about that, if what is the need of creating an application if you are not storing its information. Okay, so how can you store its information? Using with the help of your database. So that is the main important part. So as you can see over there, there are various databases that are available. Okay, and that databases are basically being supported by your Oracle technology network. So I'm not going into depth because I have already covered, like there are different types of your driver manager. So as you in this slide I have already mentioned that. So what we are doing, so I'm only explaining this example. Okay, so this explain so you have already created one Java application. So let's assume you have created one Java application. So what you need a driver. Okay, so where you are going to get a driver. So what you do, so for which database you are connecting. So for that database, you have to what you have to do, you have to download that driver. Okay, so for my in my class also I have already told you, like for my MySQL, this is my MySQL. So I can show you. Yeah. So this what you do, you can also download MySQL, and this is free of cost. Okay, they are not going to charge you any money. So you, even if you want to download your Oracle database, so you can also download your Oracle database also. So what I have done, I have downloaded MySQL Workbench. So once you are going to download it, once you have installed it. So now what you are having, now we are having two application. First is your your database. Okay, and one is your this application, what our Eclipse ID. So what I want to create a connection between these two things. So how can I create a connection? Okay, so how can I create a connection? So for that thing I need a driver. So what, for that thing what I want, I need a driver. So from where I can get a driver? So what you do, if you are going to Google it, and after Googling it, just find out a JDBC SQL driver. So I can show you over there. So what you do, you just go to into your Chrome or whatever the thing you want to, just write your JDBC and MySQL connector. Or you can see, if you are going to write my JDBC MySQL connector, so you are going to, you will get a jar file. Okay, so just download it. So if you are if you are having one database that is related to your Oracle, so for that thing you have to write what, your MySQL sorry, your JDBC as well, Java JDBC and your Oracle. So after that you can see that this is a connector. So what you do, you just download this connector. So I can show you on my desktop also. Okay, there are various windows which I have already opened over there. So what I want to do, I want to exit this thing, I want to cancel this thing. Okay, so this connector, I think this is there in my C drive downloads. So once you are going to download it, so this is a connector. Okay, MySQL connector Java. So you are going to see this thing. So what I want this jar file. Okay, I want this executable jar file. So what you do, you just copied this executable jar file, and where you are going to paste this executable jar file, you are going to you are going to paste this executable jar file on your, you just go to your where is my C drive? Yes, C drive, then your program files, then inside your program files just go to your Java, and inside Java just go to your JRE, and inside your library. Okay, inside library there is a ext folder, so just paste that file over there. So I have already pasted that file. Okay, I have already pasted this file inside this folder, that is your this JRE lib ext folder. So as you can see over there, this is a file. So if you don't have this file, okay, so if you don't have this file, if you want to create any connection among your Java application as well as among your what your MySQL, whatever the server, you cannot perform it. If I want to create a connection among my Java application as well as my Oracle, I cannot perform. Why? Because I don't have a connector for my Oracle connector. Okay, but right now I have only one connector, that is my MySQL connector. So once you are going to download this MySQL connector, what you do, you just close your Eclipse. Okay, why? Because it is not going to show that thing. So as you can see over there, I can show you here also. So as I have created one project that name as Java SQL, so you can see there are some JRE system libraries. Okay, so these libraries which you are going to generally use whenever you are executing any code. Okay, so just click it on this JRE file, so you can see one file. That file is what my MySQL connector Java 8.0.220.jar. So just this is the file which what I have done. I have copied pasted it in that group. So don't get worried that what will be the path, in which path I should paste it my file. So you can see all these jar files. So you can see the path of these jar files. So it might be possible in your machine you might have installed in during your installation you have changed the path. So in that scenario you can see it live from there also. So whatever these are the pre-existing jar files that are already being there. Okay, so these are the by default jar files that are there. So what I've done, I have just pasted one more file, that is what your MySQL connector Java 8.0.20 jar file. Okay, so this is the file I have created. So now what I have done, I am having my this Java application, I am having my database. Okay, I'm having my MySQL database. So this is my MySQL database. So what I want now I am also having this driver also. Okay, this driver also, through which what I can do, I can perform a connectivity among my this and this thing. But still what I want to do, I want to create a database. Okay, so you using your application also you can create your database, but over there right now what I have done, I have created a database. So what you do, you just Google, just go through over there. So it will ask you about your username and password. Okay. So it will take some time. So I think I have already logged in inside my MySQL. So that is why it is not asking me. Okay, so once you are going to install, so see, once you are going to install it, so it is going to ask you about two things, that is your username as well as your password. So by default, because I haven't changed the username, so your username is your root, and I'm also telling you my password also. Why I am telling you my password? Because during whenever we are going to execute and whenever we are going to create a connection among our these whatever our application. Okay, whatever our application, our Java application and your our MySQL, then in that case we need username as well as password. Okay, so and you can see this is localhost. Localhost means like in which machine you are working. So presently I am working on my current machine. So what localhost is going to return me? It is going to return me my IP address. Okay, so if you even if you are going to write your IP address also, so it becomes visible. But here you cannot write it because this is they are having their own by default setting. So what is your localhost? Localhost, it means that is your own machine. Okay, that is your machine. And what is your 3306? Or that is your port number. So I'm not going in the depth about what is your port number and all those things that you are going to cover in your computer network subject. Okay, so now, so once you are going to install, okay, so once you are going to install your your MySQL, so you will see there are some pre-existing. So there are some pre-existing what your databases that are already being there. Okay, what are these databases? Your Sakila, your SYS, as well as your Word. Okay, so I can show you. So how can you see these databases? So you have to write some queries. Okay, without queries you cannot see these databases. So as you can see over there, I want to access my Word database. So databases are these things. Okay, so cylindrical container. So whatever the cylindrical container you are seeing, so cylindrical container is a representation of your database. So once you are going to click it on your Word is my database, and inside my database you can see there are various tables. So right now we are having 3 tables. So these tables are already there. You don't have to create this table. So for your you can say that they are just giving you these tables by default. So if I want to use this thing, I want to use this database and I want to execute some query. So what I have to do, I have to use a query because I am using some database. So I have to just write use which database I am accessing. I am accessing Word database. Okay. So this is the database I am executing, and inside database you are accessing which table. Now at the end of the day, you are basically accessing which some table over there. Okay. So suppose if I want to access my city table. So in that scenario, what I have to do, I have to write a query. So the query is select star from your, you have to mention your table name. Okay. So what is your table name? Your city table name. So I have just written city table name. Okay. So this is the database I am accessing, and this is the thing which I am basically accessing. Okay. So select query is telling you. So I have already mentioned. Okay. If you are going to see my these slides, so you can see this is a query which I am using over there. That is your select query. So you can even write your whatever the column name you want to access. So suppose if you are not having any idea about your table, so what you do, if you are going to write your asterisk, it means it is going to access the entire columns that are there from table. And if you want to add some conditions, so it's up to you. So for my present scenario, I don't want to add any condition. So what I do, I just execute this thing. So once I have executed, so this is my output window. So it is telling me that whether I am getting any error or I am executing whatever the statement I have written. So you can see over there, I have just executed these statements over there. Now, so this is the city table. Okay, city table. Now you can see this is this city table. So city table is having how many entries? So there are 100 rows. Okay, 100 entries are there inside your inside in your city table. So if you want to add some condition, okay, where country code is equals to what you want, AFG. So what I just want the information of those person whose country code is AFG. So as you can see in this table, how many entries are there for AFG? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So through queries, if I want to access the information of only, so in during my class also I have also already told you about this scenario, is that suppose these are the information of all the terrorists, okay, of worldwide, and suppose you want the information of only those terrorists, sorry, that are already that are from Afghanistan, that are having a country code Afghanistan. So how can I access those terrorists? So what you do, you just write select star from city. So suppose city table is containing the information about entire terrorist, and where you are just writing country code is equals to AFG. So it might be possible there are many terrorists are there. So if I'm going to execute this code, so you can see over there. So what we are doing, we are accessing only the information about only those terrorists of your Afghanistan country. Okay, so you can see name, country code, and suppose I'm assuming it, while this table is telling you about something different. Okay, like the city name, your district, and the population. So this table is something different, okay, which I'm telling over there. So there are various queries. So I'm not going into the depth of that queries because I've already explained during my class also that what are those queries and how you are going to execute those queries. Okay, so even you can see you can follow my these lecture notes. So from there you can see that you can perform various operations over there. So what I have done similarly to that, what you can do, you can create your own database. So how can you create your own database? For that, what you just write create your database, and your database, whatever the database you want to create. So suppose I want to create a database of BU. Okay, so I just want to create a database BU over there. So if I'm going to execute my this BU, so you can see I have created. Let me check what is the problem. Okay, so this database is already exist. Okay, as you can see over there, this database is already there. So we cannot create same name database. So I want to create extra Java class. So if you want to create your own database, so what you do, you just write this query create database, and what is your database name? Your Java class. So if I have executed this thing and I have error because manual, okay, because it is giving me an error because why? Because I have opened. Let me close this thing, okay? Because I have opened two tabs, okay? That is why I am getting an error. So now as you can see over there, once I have executed my create database Java class, so it means I have executed it. So what you do, you just close it, because right now you are not able to see your Java class database. Are you able to see Java class database? No, but we have already created. So what you do, you just close this window and again log in, because it will take some time, okay? I'm entering my password. My password is root 123. So now, are you able to see Java class folder? Yeah, now you can see it. Okay. So this is a data. So earlier it was not there. So right now what I have done, I have created one database, and the name of that database is what? Your Java class. After that, as you can see over there, is there any tables that are there inside your Java class database? No. On other databases, you can see there are various tables. Okay, but for your Java class, you don't have any table. So for that scenario, what you have to do, you have to create your own table. So for that, what you do, you just write first to you, because you are using this database. That is why you have to again you have to use which execute which line you used this database. Okay, so in which database you want to perform that operation. So that is why it is mandatory. If I'm not writing this statement, then our MySQL server is not going to understand like in which database you want to perform that operation. Okay, so that is why what I have written, I have just written use Java class, and after that what I want to do, I want to create table. So I have to write create table. This is and whatever the table name, like extra class. Okay, so I have created one table extra class, and after that, if you want to enter, so what, how many columns you want to add? I want to add like roll number. Okay, roll number. So this is my first column. So roll number data type is, let's assume I'm again writing varchar. Okay, varchar is the data type of my column, and what it is going to tell me, why I have written 10, because 10 is telling me the length of this thing. Okay, so I cannot exceed the 10 length, 10 digits. So let's assume I'm having a roll number of 10 digits. So if I'm having a roll number of 11 digits, so I cannot insert it. Okay, so at max how many and entries you can, how many, what is the length of your that character, whatever the roll number you are creating, that is of size 10. Okay, now name, your full name, suppose full name, and for again it is a varchar having size 20. Okay, so suppose I just want two entries right now. So what is the error I'm getting right now? Okay, I'm getting an error.
Need
Okay,
to close the bracket.
okay, yeah, I forget to, yeah. So now if I'm going to execute this query, so it means I have created one table. Okay, so I have created one table, and that zero rows affected. Why? Because I have just created column, not rows. Okay, so what you do, because it will take some time. Okay, that is why. So what I do, if I'm going to again close it, and if I'm going to again open this thing, it is not like that you cannot execute your query, because I just want to show you this thing. That is why I'm again closing my tab and again that thing. Even after that, if I'm going to perform any operation, I can perform it, but it is not at all visible. But the main thing with which what I want over there is to just make you visible. Okay, so that is why, see, in Java class earlier we don't have any tables. So right now we have created one table, and that table of which type, the name of that table is your extra class. Okay, so if I just want to execute this query, select Select query is basically used to access the data. Okay, select star from your table name is extra class. So if I'm going to execute this query, so you can see there are two columns. So what are these columns? Your roll number as well as your name. Okay, full name. These two columns are there. So if you want to perform some insert for operation, so you have to write insert into your table name, that is your extra class. Okay, what you do, you just write extra class, you have to write values. Okay, so values. So these are the queries which you have to merge. Okay, if you are basically working, I think these queries are very easy, but you have to merge all these such kind of things if you want to perform these insertion as well as whatever the operations you want to perform. So my roll number is, for example, BU123, and my name is, let's assume I'm writing my own name, Mohit. Okay, so now what I have done, I have inserted one value. So if I'm going to insert some value, if I'm going to execute it, so as you can see over there, see, one row is affected. So again, if I'm going to execute the same query, select star from your, what is your table name is extra class. I'm going to execute this query. So you can see the entry, roll number, name, and the first entry is BU123 and Mohit, this thing. Okay. So why am I explaining you these things? Because similarly to that, what I have done, I have created one more table. Okay, I have created one more table inside a database. Which database? Your Bennett registration database. Okay, I have created one database similarly to a Java class. I have created one more database of which type, the name is your Bennett registration. And after that, if you are going to open this database, just open it, see. So it contains one table. Okay, and that table is of account table. So I just want to show you this table also. ACCOUN, sorry. So if you want to access your account table, so first what you have to do, you have to go to this your Bennett registration. Okay, use Bennett registration. So I have just written Bennett registration, and after that what I want to do, I want to access my account class. Okay, I just want to access my account class, ACCOUNT. So this is my class. So if I'm going to execute it, so see, you can see. So these are the fields, these are the columns, you can see fields. You can also say there is a terminology fields also. Okay, so if you are working on database, so you generally use instead of column, you use a field name. So how many field name I am having? I am having my first name, last name, username, password, email ID, as well as mobile number. Okay.